The original Predator came out in 1987 and it was directed by John McTiernan and starred, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, Jesse Ventura, and so many manly men. This film is filled with testosterone until this day, and it's one of the greatest action films of all time. Yeah! And welcome back to one of my GeeKlassic reviews. Tomorrow I'm giving you my review of the new The Predator film without any spoilers, but today, reviewing this classic, just like any other GeeKlassic, this one will have spoilers. And of course, everyone has seen Predator, the film where Schwarzenegger and his team go to an island to try and save some people from terrorists, but they end up biting more than they can chew when they encounter this being from another planet which they've never encountered before, the ultimate weapon, the ultimate hunter. Predator is one of my favorite movies of all time. And to this day, it's still one of the greatest and coolest action films ever made, and was directed by a man who truly understood action, because Predator is a film that easily could have gone down to B territory, and yet it doesn't because of everyone's involvement both in front and behind the camera. McTiernan's perfect direction takes it to a whole nother level. His use of location and character dynamics, he creates a constant sense of tension and suspense that is unrivaled in so many action films from then and from today especially. The fact that we constantly see foliage and is obstructing our view of the characters and what is kind of going on makes us sweat so much, and the fact that we see these guys, these huge dudes, so freaking muscular, and they are the best at what they do, and yet they are afraid, they feel trapped, they don't know what they are up against. That is what makes this movie stand out. That is what shows so much care and direction in screenplay. So many of these elements come together so purposefully, and of course, one of the best elements of this film is the fact that we don't see the monster until it's absolutely necessary. And the action set pieces are so adrenaline fueled, it's insane how white-knuckled they make you. You sweat, you feel like you're on a mission with these guys. It creates for a beautiful melding of scenes that honestly gives this movie perfect pacing from beginning to end. It's a classic sci-fi movies in many ways, but also very different from its contemporary films because it is driven by action, and I guess only Aliens would be another example of this. But this film also has its elements of horror because of many reasons, but of course, it created one of the most iconic film monsters of all time. Given the film its much needed elements of horror necessary for the tension and the suspense I previously mentioned. And the characters are so unique and captivating, and of course led by Arnie, who in all honesty gives one of his best performances in this film. I just love him. He's charismatic as he's ever been. I think his charisma in this film is absolutely off the chain, but everyone is so unique in their own way. You have these little pairs that work so well, yet the group as a whole just stands out. You remember Jesse the Body Ventura, you remember Shane Black, you remember Kyle Weathers. It's not just Arnie, it's the ensemble that is great. It's very telling how good characters in the movie are when you enter a film knowing that they are going to die, and yet you really don't want them to, and you root for them not to. And McTiernan plays with our expectations to a T. He kind of moves around the orders of death that we are expecting, and he also kind of makes us wait a little bit too long for our taste for certain deaths, while at other times he makes just two people die one quickly after the next. And let's go back to our monster, of course. There's so much work put into the Predator as a character in this film. McTiernan needs to show him, of course, for us to understand the enemy, the danger in this film, but at the same time he needs to keep it mysterious. He also can't make it too difficult to locate or to track. And when the Predator camouflages itself and walks around, the special effects are revolutionary for the time, but they also need for us to just see it in the corner of a screen or just standing out in the middle of the foliage. That is one of the great examples of how this film did so well in its production and did so well in bringing everything in it to life. And the Alan Silvestri score complements all of these elements so well. It's one of those scores that stands out because it supports every emotion in every scene and not because it overpowers it. No scene is commanded by the score. The score just follows what the scene intends to do. And of course, we cannot forget Predator is one of the most quotable movies of all time.
You son of a bitch. What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils?
That, ladies and gentlemen, is still the manliest handshake in the history of cinema.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
Come on, come on. Kill me, I'm here. Kill me. Come on, kill me, I'm here. Come on, do it now. Kill me.
Of course, I left my favorite for last, despite not being the last one in the film.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Predator is a film that just works. It works as an action film, as a sci-fi film, as a horror film. It works in every conceivable level of filmmaking. Directed by a man on the top of his game, an extremely invested cast, supported by a terrific script full of thrills and chills, and it's injected with care into every component of its making. Predator today remains as thrilling, funny, and exciting as it was when it first came out. And of course, Predator is the stuff that dreams are made of. What did you guys think of the original Predator? Let me know in the comments below, my beautiful geekies, and don't forget to come back tomorrow for my review of The Predator. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Very soon I'm starting my Harry Potter GeeKlassic reviews leading up to Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Can't wait to see you there, and I have many other reviews coming this week. And until the next review, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and click the bell, and we can be geeky united!